One love to the humble, one love to the humble, one love to the humble. May grace and peace be multiplied unto you. I got a request from the good brother Trey Day, and the question is, why do black women put black men down for white approval? It's a good question. I mean, you know, that's a good question. But I got my own take on it. You know what I'm saying? This is just my take. I don't have no stats, no data, anything like that to back this up. It's just my take from observation. You know what I'm saying? Kind of understanding what's going on and understanding the question that's being asked to me, right? So the way I look at it is this: I don't think they do it for white approval. I don't think so. Because let me be clear, um, white people do not care about what black people are thinking about. They don't care about these issues in our community other than the fact that what we do in our community affects their community or affects the fact that they got to be out and about and living amongst us. That's pretty much the only thing that they worried about is things being civil and not getting hurt, and not getting beat up or shot or whatever the case may be. That's the only thing they're concerned about, or their kids getting beat up or shot or hurt. Other than that, they don't really care about what's going on in the black community like we think they do. But more to get more in depth with it, white people don't care about black relationships as far as whether and who's single and who they can date. Most white people are not trying to date black women at all. It's just what it is. You'll see more black men with white women than you will see white men with black women. It's just it's just the way it is, and there's a reason for it. Um, white men do not want as a white men as a whole are not seeking black women. I didn't say. See, I got to be clear when I'm talking to us. I did not say that there's no white men with black women. I didn't say that. I said that they're not. That's not what they're seeking. And yes, you can look around, and you don't have to have a stat to prove that. You can look around and see that what you see more of that gives you a small sample size to work with. I'm not saying they won't mess around with. I ain't saying they won't, you know, have a little fun with. But when it comes down to getting serious, most of them ain't doing that. And they ain't doing it because of obvious reasons that I'm not gonna get into right now. I don't know, I may get into it later on, but right now I'm not gonna get into that. I'm just gonna say that that's not the case. They're not seeking out they're not they're not seeking out black women to marry. White men just not doing that. So that's why I say that they're not doing it for that approval because them guys don't care. Now I'm gonna tell you what I think is happening. I think they mean what they say, the ones who saying it, and it's come from a place of hurt. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying all of them. I don't think all black women are this way, but a lot of a lot of them, the ones that are this way, they influencing the rest to think the same. And the ones that think this way, they come from if you go look in their past, it's usually something bad that happened to them by a black man. You know, because women are more emotional than men. Not that men are not emotional, but women hold carry emotions high. So when you hurt a woman, it's not like hurting a man. Her emotions lead and guide her in a lot of situations. So therefore, if she's hurt, that pain gonna stick. So anything that reminds her of that pain, meaning being a black man, as the one who hurt her, she's gonna always remember that. So when you deal with a hurt woman, black woman in particular, you can't do any wrong. If you the new guy, if you do anything wrong, you're gonna bring out that what the old guy did, but she's gonna take it out on you because you look like you black like the old guy. So everything you doing must be just like him, and it hurt her. So that pain is still there. So it's gonna rise to the surface, and you're gonna have to deal with it. So I don't believe that they're doing it for approval. I believe it's just who they are. Once they've been hurt, they don't seek the proper treatment and healing, that will be with them forever, and they're gonna always be have a negative mindset when it comes to a black man. And when they say these things online, they very well mean it. They're not just talking; they are seriously hurt, and they serious pain, serious hatred for. Problem is, they can't go nowhere else because women don't go holler at men like that. They just don't. And it's sad to say, but a lot of people, a lot of other races are just not interested in black women for a long term, serious relationship. And I say again, I'm not saying that there are none who are. I'm saying as a whole, that's not what goes on. Nobody's coming after black women the way black men are. Nobody's going to seek out black women the way black men are. No one else is. So where else they gonna go? If the black man hurt her, she can't see the black man the right way no more. Then the only thing she can do is diss him and talk trash about him and belittle him and all these things. Now to add to the problem, you got to add in feminism. You got to add in jobs, and they're getting opportunities now that you as a man cannot get. There are some jobs that will hire them just because they're female, whether they qualify for it or not. That's just the way it is now. They call themselves overcorrecting for what women wasn't able to do, but that's been many, many years ago. And women have had the ability to do everything they wanted to do for a long period of time. It's just that they've always chosen the same things. They've chosen the same jobs. It doesn't pay well. Great jobs, but they just don't. You know, the more laborious a job is, the higher the pay. The more simple the job is, a lot of times the pay is lower. Or the easier it is for them to replace you, the pay is not going to be as high. But those are the jobs that women are interested in. Nothing wrong with it. It's just the nature of what it is. But there's also this side where women are overwhelmingly in college more than men are. Women can do certain things and make a lot of money that men can't do, and it's perfectly legal. Like OnlyFans is perfectly legal, and women who got the right bodies, the right marketing scheme, can get on there and make lots of money every month, lots more than you can make on your job as a man. They can make it on there, and they count that as a real job. And when women make money, they tend to not want to date men that don't make what they make or higher. And most men ain't making what some of these girls on OnlyFans are making. So you add that into the picture, now you got another problem because you can't make that. And she want a guy who can make that, and she'll call you a bum for not being able to make what she makes when she making her money off OnlyFans. That'll be another reason why she'll diss you. Or if she's a stripper or doing some type of sex work or bottle service or anything, something like that, some of that nature. And she might be making good money, but you working a decent, honest job. She's doing that type of work, and she'll diss you for it. Not for white approval, just because you a bum to her now. Just simple stuff. Only problem is that OnlyFans stuff don't last long. The stripping don't last long, and bottle girl service don't last long. Nobody wants an old stripper or old bottle girl or old OnlyFans. Nobody wants to see that. That's just the way it goes, right? Um, then you add in feminism. Feminism got a lot to do with it. We're conditioning women to believe and think a certain kind of way. See, when you tell the people that somebody, like they say the patriarchy, that's a big thing going on now. It's the patriarchy. The patriarchy. It's the patriarchy that's the bad, bad patriarchy. So when feminism keep pumping that in your head, then everything about being a man is considered bad. Everything about masculinity is somehow demonized. Everything, and I think they do it on purpose because they want to put men down so they can rise themselves up. But that's another reason why the um the hatred is there because they think men have it so easy. Men don't have it easy at all. But since women live a different life than us, they don't see what we go through. They don't really understand the struggle of a man. Because women really do have it easy. They just can't see it. Women got options that men could never have. That's why, like when you take a chessboard, you got the king and the queen. Notice how the queen can move all over the board, any direction, as far as she want to go. That's the same thing in real life. A queen can move, a woman can move anywhere in the world and do. She got the option to do anything she want to do. The king, which he's the most powerful piece on the board, but he can only move, and he can move anywhere on the board in any direction too, but it's only one at a time. The women don't have to wait; they can jump all the way to the other side of the board if they want to. In order for the man to get to the other side of the board, he got to go step by step. He can't skip no steps. Like a woman could turn 18 and be on a yacht by next week in Miami with a billionaire. A man, on the other hand, he has to earn that money to become a billionaire. And not long that take, step by step by step by step by step. So the woman can go from, she can be right beside the man, and she can move all the way to the other side of the board. He can't, for him to get over there, it's going to take a lot longer, it's going to be a lot harder, there's going to be a lot more obstacles is able to get in your way. But if you take a queen on a chessboard, she can bypass all of that and get away from the obstacles quickly and be always on the other side of the board with just one move. Whereas a man, he can only move one block at a time, so he can't get all the way over there to get away from the danger. He has to face the danger and figure out how he gonna defeat it. That's the same equivalent as a woman who can get on a boat with a millionaire at 18. But that same man that's a millionaire or billionaire took him a long time to get to that level. Something she can get overnight without even having to buy it, have to purchase it. She just show up, look good, and she on. Ain't no man gonna be able to do that until he worked for many, many, many years to build up that money, if he ever do, to have that type of money to get that type of access. But women can have it over just like without even working for it. So, but that's what they think men got it so easy. Some kind of crazy idea of this. But the patriarchy is hated for being a man, but doing what men do. Everything about a man is shamed by women. Not all women. Some women like masculine men, but a lot of women hate masculinity. They hate everything about it. So they try to demonize it in every which way they can. They'll make you think being a man is wrong. I guess that's why so many men trying to be women now, because they don't want to be men. They hate what comes to being a man. I don't understand that. Be a man at all times. If men stop being weak, women will stop degrading men. See, it's only got like this because men have become soft and weak and scared to check women, scared to put women in their place. When I see that word in their place, that's gonna trigger somebody because they not looking at it the right way. Men and women got places, right, that we supposed to be in that we don't be in. And the way women talk about men today is no, it's nonsense. And men allow it. Women hate weak men. They despise men that's weak. If you can't check her, women know what they're doing. And they'll play victim, they'll cry, they do all that if you put them in their place, like little kids, right? But sometimes you just gotta tell her what it is. But most men today are raised by single mothers, and they single mothers tell them, "Oh, be this way with women, be nice, don't do this, don't do that," and then they don't ever meet a woman like that when they go out in the world. Women are supposed to be treated this way. Women are just like this, and women are just like that. But that guy don't ever seem to run across that type of woman. His mama told him to that women were, and the way she trained him to be is not the type of women he going to run into. And I don't understand the psychology behind it, where women tell their sons to treat women like this when they know that's not how women are. But they set their sons up for failure by teaching them to treat women this kind of way, and that ain't what women are attracted to. Women ain't attracted to that mess, man. Not at all. That's why they hate men. That's why they hate weak men. They hate men that's not gonna lead them and guide them and tell them what it is. No matter how much they fuss, fight, complain, they're not gonna. They're just not gonna respect you. It ain't about. It ain't for white approval. It's just simply because women don't like weak men. The strongest men always had the most women. When I say the strongest, I don't mean it don't always mean physically strong. I just mean your stature, your confidence, who you are, what you stand for, what you don't stand for, your standards, all these things. Women that say they don't like when men act like this, they don't like when men act like that. That's what they're gonna say because that's socially and politically correct thing to say. But they want you to treat them that way. It sounds crazy when I say it like that, but that's what it is. They don't want you to be soft. And they don't want how to make all the decisions, even though they argue with you about the ones you make. Even though they'll argue with you, oh, he was too controlling. They'll say something like that. But don't have a backbone and see how she respects you. She ain't gonna respect you. Don't listen to everything women say. Look at what they respond to. They're gonna say what's politically correct because women have a hard time with being looked at as bad. They don't want to be looked at as in a negative light. They don't take L's well. Because they've been all their life they've been told how great they are and they've been treated like put on pedestals. So when somebody come along and start telling them things that they're not used to hearing, they're gonna rebel back. But see, they don't want you to say those things to you. They just want your actions to show it. They don't want you to tell them that. They just want your actions to show. You see what I'm saying? Women are tricky species. You know, they kind of they flick. What's the word I'm looking for? They fickle. They're fickle. You gotta know how to deal with women, and most men don't know how to deal with women because they don't have enough experience with talking to women all the time and dealing with women to understand how women respond. And a lot of men get frustrated because their mama told them one thing, but they ain't never ran into a woman like that. But bottom line is, women don't respond well to weak men. So when you see a woman putting down men, that's because these men that she has been across have shown they don't have no backbone. They don't stand for anything. They don't have anything going for themselves. They have no ambition. They have nothing. And these are all the men that she run into in her community or her neighborhood or where she went to school at or anything like that. So when you have that kind of situation, she think that's how she thinks she can act to all men. She put women base everything upon their experiences, not nothing else. It's all about what they experience. So if they experience that one, two, or three times, that means everybody's that way. So they just start talking trash, even if they're wrong. So what I'm here to tell you is don't go by what they say, go by what they respond to, and they hate weak men. Do not be a weak man. When I say weak, I don't mean strong. When I say weak, yeah, weak is the opposite of strong. But I'm not saying strong as in start abusing or yelling and acting a fool. No, I'm talking about strengthening how you carry yourself and what you stand for, what you don't stand for. You'll never gotta raise your voice when you firm and you true to who you are on the inside. They know who to talk crazy to, who not. And it ain't because of violence. It's because of who you are as a person, as a man. So that's my take on that. I hope I answered the question. But that's just my take. Somebody else might have something different to say, how they see it. Y'all take care.